What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with more Ultra Impact. Now, we're going to talk a little bit today, again, about unit upgrades, and mostly SRs, but also something I really forgot that's really important, the Awakening missions. Basically, if I go back to the main page here, you'll see all the way over there on the right, there are, about dead center of the page, there's Awakening missions, and these are really, really, really important. I cannot believe I forgot to talk about them in the previous video, but this is a perfect opportunity to really focus on them, because when you first get into the game, there's a lot of missions in here. Number one, that are time limited. You need to make sure you're taking advantage of these, but you need to make sure you pick the right unit. Obviously, you want to, you're going to pick a UR, one of your first URs that you get when you first get into the game. You're going to select and you're going to start doing missions literally just to get them awakened and get them maxed out. Now, I have been lagging behind in this a little bit for various reasons, but the long and the short of it is there's 7 pages, and as you complete all these missions, you're going to get more and more and more stuff. Now, once you complete them all, you're going to get a UR ticket. That means you get a guaranteed UR once you complete all these missions. So you need to make sure you stay on top of this and you get these done. But more importantly than that, let's go back to the level 1 missions, okay? As I break through these level 1 missions, I am getting various things. I'm getting level up items. You will see there at the end of this, I got frags for one of my SRs. But you will also acquire quite a few frags for your UR as well. In this case, I chose Bakugo because he's the main unit that I got. It was him and Momo that I got when I did my reroll, and he was going to be my main DPS. So, really, for me, it was most important to acquire him. Now, you will also notice we are getting silver tickets here. Those are going to be really good for doing summons later on and all that stuff. So, for me, personally, I'm kind of hoarding those for the moment. But if I go all the way up to here at the end, you'll notice that this mission right here, so once you get to level 7, this is page 64. This is the 64th mission in all your Awakening missions. So it's going to take you some time to get through all these. But it's not going to be that hard. Complete main quest 813 hard without skipping. That literally means you just got to go through this and you got to run it. I don't know how hard 813 on hard is, but by this point you're gonna have done so many Awakenings and so much upgrades. Your units will probably be able to just, I won't say manhandle the event, but they shouldn't have any major concerns going through this. Because by that point, not only should you have Bakugo or whoever you choose to do this with at a really high level, you should have all your other units at a high level too, because you are getting a ton of level up items. Okay? But if you are ever having problems acquiring frags for the unit that you're trying to upgrade, remember, you get a ton of them in here. One of these missions, and I don't remember which one, so that gives me 40 frags. Now it gives me tickets. There's 100 frags right there. So 140 frags just for completing these. So if you've been buying frags from the shop and haven't been doing your Awakening missions, you might actually be wasting your efforts. You need to make absolutely certain you're going through these. Now, unfortunately, part of the reason that I am where I am, let's just go out to the main page here. Should go in here. So it'll tell me right here, complete main quest 921. Now the problem is, because I like to hoard as many events as I can for later use. Unfortunately, I'm not at 921 yet, so I've got to work my way up there. So there will be these stopgaps that periodically you run into where it's like, okay, now I've got to grind out more levels. And if you ever wonder why that is, check out some of the other games we play. Oftentimes, leaving levels undone is going to be really good for, you know, a few months down the road when I've got units I want to summon for, and I need to grind some free-to-play currency. So, unfortunately, that means that I am still operating in this capacity. But I'm going to go ahead and complete my Awakening mission there and basically just soldier on. Now, the really nice part is when it comes to the hard quests, you could actually skip around in those. So completing all the normal missions actually would probably be in your best interest. And that's what I'm working on right now. So going through all 9 chapters, complete all the normal missions, and then my goal, and this is my personal goal, is to actually go on and more or less just complete all the other missions, the hard missions, little by little, basically as needed, and just, you know, save some for summons and stuff like that later on. So, but that is pretty much the long and the short of it. You just want to kind of roll through here, make sure you're doing your normal missions, do as many of those as you can, and pay close attention to those awakening missions before you start buying frags. Because if you start, you know, just spending tons and tons and tons of currency on frags, you're going to be pretty upset with the results, because you're going to get a ton of these frags that you could have saved and spent elsewhere, or spent your stars elsewhere to acquire frags for one of your other units. Notice I now have Endeavor on my team. Got him last week, so it is what it is. Now, once we get out of this mission, I'll go ahead and briefly talk about SRs, because there's not a huge difference between, not like memories. Memories, there is a bit of a difference. But when it comes to the SRs, there's a few interesting caveats you do need to pay very close attention to that will save you a lot of time and a lot of energy when it comes to completing your awakenings for your SRs. And make no mistake, there are quite a few SRs in this game that are still exceptional. In fact, there are some that are arguably better than a few of the URs. So don't discount your SRs yet. Make sure you're still going through and doing as much as you can to awaken those. So let's jump over here to characters, and let's grab an SR and let's talk about him, okay? I'm going to go to character level up and just let's grab him, okay? Now, you'll notice here that there is not a huge difference between what we see with the UR and what we see with the SR. And that's generally pretty normal. Like, you're going to come in here, you're going to have the ability to upgrade. Obviously, mine is level 70. That is his max level prior to awakening. And it's the usual stuff. In fact, I can even go feed him the HP flakes and all that stuff to upgrade his assets there. Not that I'm going to do that for my SRs yet. I'm going to save most of that for my URs or any really exceptional SRs that I come across. But that is a slight difference. Now, the one interesting caveat to this, and I'm going to have to back out here to talk about this, is the character ability board. The character ability board in SRs is interesting for one very good reason. Let's just grab her, because I don't think I haven't done any of her ability board yet. So we have the regular ability board, and of course, we have the peace board, which you would use frags on just like you would with a UR. But one thing that is slightly different, if we go back to the basic route, use orbs. You're probably going to wind up getting quite a few SR orbs that you can unlock. And if you look here, SR unlocking orb A. Use this item on the ability board of an SR to instantly unlock panels 1 through 4. Notice, this panel will be unlocked, as will this, this, and this. Instantly. Instantly. No questions asked. In fact, if we go back over here, let me go grab her. So we've got our free-to-play. We've got Kami. We got our free-to-play unit here. And what we're going to do is actually use her orb because she gets a character-specific orb. This is something that you're going to get from events when you have free-to-play units. So let's just use her orb, see what happens, and watch this happen real time. Bada bing, bada boom. Check that out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All auto-filled, completely done, rewards collected, and our unit is now pretty well upgraded. And she's instantly awoken. Instantly awoken. Check that out. So, do not underestimate your orbs. Make sure you are taking advantage. Completely. Now, when it comes to the free-to-play units from events and things like that, make sure you are using the applicable orb, because if I go back here, currently, and I will emphasize currently because this is a video I'm sure people are going to come to later, we're running the provisional license combat training. And if I go over here, you'll notice that I can get frags for her. I wouldn't be shocked if there was another orb on a later draw. I just haven't seen it yet. But I'm not going to use another orb on her. I'm going to wait and see if we get a specified orb. We might get that one in the later lineup. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Draw 4 is Just more frags, more frags, more frags, and more frags. So unfortunately, we do not get another orb. We only get the A orb. But I'm going to have enough frags. I'm still not going to do it. I'm going to save my frags. Now, that is to say, if I had another SR that I knew was absolutely exceptional, and I wanted to upgrade immediately, that means I could run in here, go to level up, go to character ability, and let's just grab Sun Eater again, and just drop an orb. In fact, let's do it real quick. Pretty sure I want to upgrade him. I like him a lot. And instantly upgrade all of that. Now, this might have been a slight mistake because I am building out my blue teams, and he is yellow, but you know what? He'll work really, really, really good with Lemillion. So, instantly awoken. Good times. And let's just go max him out. Why the hell not? We're here. We've got the orbs. Let's use orb number 2. For science. For science. Boom. Boom. And we should get a few of these throughout the game. I don't know if there's ever going to be one for a UR. It doesn't seem like it, but that, those things can always change. So instantly, completely awoken. Totally leveled up, maxed out, good to go. And I didn't have to spend a single frag. Not a frag one was spent on this banner. Or I say on this banner, on this awakening. So that is good stuff right there. Okay, now that means I can go back out here. So once we get in here, you will notice the one major caveat. He's still level 70. He hasn't leveled up anymore. So even with the ability boards completely done, they're not going to get much higher level than that. Whereas your URs are going to get up to level 100. So do be aware of that one major change. So that brings me to the final thing we need to discuss, and we didn't talk about this, and that is, actually there's 2 things we need to discuss. EX skills and equipment. But I'm going to save those for a third video. We'll drop that here in a day or 2. So if you're curious about EX skills and equipment and all that, we'll talk about that shortly. But for now, that's going to be this video. Like, comment, share. Make sure you stay tuned. Subscribe to stay up to date. Part 3 coming at you guys really soon.